LeBron James should have won the 2020 MVP award. Now, I'm aware that that's not a very popular opinion, and it's actually not one I had as recently as a couple days ago. But looking at it more, I really do think LeBron should have won the MVP. And uh, uh, it is not because of the playoffs, okay? People have been talking about it being the playoffs, and, Giannis choked, and so that's why LeBron really deserved the award, and that's stupid, okay? The Bronsexuals can chill out. Playoffs don't matter for a regular season award. What does matter is how, or at least in my opinion, what matters is how valuable you actually are to your team. Okay. Now, for the record, both players had amazing stats. Okay. I'm not saying that Giannis didn't deserve the MVP award. I just think more so LeBron deserved it more. Okay. Yeah. Giannis had a ridiculous season. All right. 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, a block, and a steal. He is the third player in NBA history to do that. Okay, that's absurd. LeBron had slightly less impressive numbers, but still ridiculous ones of, 25 points, 10 assists, about 7 rebounds. All right. He was amazing. Both were super efficient from the field. Both led their teams to the best record in their respective conferences. Amazing seasons. I also think that Giannis deserved to win Defensive Player of the Year. And that, for me, was always my biggest thing throughout the regular season of why I believed that Giannis should be the MVP because I thought he was the best defensive player in the league. His team was the best defensive team in the league, and I'm definitely someone who appreciates defense. So I thought that's why he deserved to win. My opinion has changed recently, however, because watching LeBron play defense in the playoffs, and specifically the way that he made Russell Westbrook his freaking bitch, okay? I was like, damn, LeBron's actually still really good on defense this year. All right. So I had to go and see if that's how he was in the regular season, and it turns out he was. There's a really good video that Basketball Breakdown does on this concept, and it's more LeBron versus Kawhi on the defensive end, and it's how, well, Kawhi is a better defender, and we're not going to be talking about how Kawhi choked today, although I might make a video on that later because Kawhi, you're really let me down, man. All right, kicked the Sixers' ass last year, and then this year you're going to come in and the game seven at 14 points. Killing me. Absolutely killing me. But that's a video for another day. All right. As I was saying, before I got off track, started having my Sixers feelings hurt. All right. LeBron's actually been amazing on defense this season. All right. And he doesn't necessarily show up in the stats super much. I mean, he's got a steal and like half a block. Not that Giannis's defensive stats are absolutely like amazing either. But if you look at the advanced stats, he's got like a very high like VORP and like defensive like real plus minus. And I know the advanced stats are kind of they're all a little sus. Uh, Especially the plus minus stat. Plus minus is broken as hell. But LeBron was actually really good on defense this year. Okay, not as good as Giannis, not as good as Kawhi, maybe not even as good as AD. In fact, I'd say he's not as good as AD. Okay, I don't like AD. I'm probably going to do a video in the future about why I don't like AD and why I think he's overrated. But for now, I'll leave it at I don't like AD, but I'll admit that he is the best defensive player on the Lakers. All right. LeBron was really good, though, this year on defense, and there's no question to me that he was the second best defensive player on the Lakers. All right. We saw it in this series against Russell Westbrook. I expect us to see it more in this Nuggets series. I would not be surprised if LeBron takes on Michael Porter Jr. and just, I mean, Michael Porter Jr., I know he's just a rookie, but I do not expect him to do well in this series because I expect LeBron to do exactly what he did with Westbrook and just lock him down because he just doesn't have a deep enough offensive game yet. All right. So, LeBron, excellent on defense, really, really excellent on offense. I would say the best offensive player in the league this season. The only two who really come close in my mind, or the only two who are better in my mind, would probably be Luca, Harden, and maybe Dame. In fact, I would probably say Dame was a little better on offense than LeBron. But also, LeBron was giving more stuff to Anthony Davis. He was letting him get more points, so it's hard to say exactly. But I'm really surprised that LeBron only got 16 first place votes, and that's the real reason I made this video. Because, at the end of the day, I expected to be closer, even though I expected Giannis to win, but I expected to be very close, and it wasn't nearly as close as I think it should have been. Um, and like I said, I believe LeBron should have won. And the reason for that, unlike the media would have you believe, because God, the NBA media is just atrocious right now. Okay, they're atrocious. All this stuff about narrative and oh, he's 35 and he's doing amazing. That's why he needs the MVP because he's 35. He needs the MVP because Kobe died and that was more stress. And it's like, no, okay. Incredible respect. Blah, 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 blah. All the respect in the world to LeBron for how well he's doing this season at his age. Kobe's death, I mean, it was hard on anyone who's an NBA fan, but I'm sure it was very hard on him and on the Lakers in general. But I think narrative really shouldn't play a role in the MVP. Okay, that's why I think Westbrook absolutely should not have won in 2017. The reason LeBron should have won comes down to minutes. If you look at his minutes played, he plays about 34.6 minutes a game, all right, according to Land of Basketball, which is, I'm sorry, according to Basketball Reference, my bad, which is the main page I like to use for anything NBA related. All right, Giannis played 30 minutes a game. And off the top of your head, you might be like, well, Giannis played less minutes, he had better stats. Doesn't that mean he's better? And kind of. So the reason, like, Giannis could have probably put up even better numbers if he had to play more, but he didn't play more. Why didn't Giannis play more? Because his team was stupidly good even without him on the floor. Okay? If you take, people have been saying all year that, the Giannis fans have been saying that LeBron shouldn't have the MVP because he is Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis is better than anyone on Giannis's team. This is true. After Anthony Davis, though, the Lakers are kind of poop. Like, who is the Lakers' third best player? Is it Kyle Kuzma? Is it like old Dwight Howard? Is it Avery Bradley? You know, old Rondo? KCP? God, I can't. There's no way it's KCP. That would that would really be sad. But seriously, it might be Kyle Kuzma. And Kyle Kuzma, even Lakers fans are starting to admit how overrated Kyle Kuzma is, okay? He's not that good. He maybe shouldn't even be a starter. So if Kyle Kuzma is the third best player on your team, I don't care if your second best player is Anthony Davis. Your team shouldn't be that good, but they are because LeBron is amazing. And if you look at the on-off numbers, when LeBron's off the floor and Anthony Davis is on it, they're just an average team. Okay? They're like an average team. They probably don't make the playoffs in the West if LeBron's not there. If you take Giannis off the Bucks though and have the rest of the starters on, the Bucks are still maybe not title contenders, but they're still absolutely a playoff team. And I know they're in the East, but like they're still a playoff team to the level that they would probably be the sixth seed, okay? They wouldn't be like I don't believe if Giannis was off that team, they would be like really fighting with the Nets and the Magic. I think they would be the clear sixth seed because their team's ridiculous. They have an amazing regular season coach in Mike Budenholzer. He has his playoff issues, but regular season dude might be as good as they come. Okay? Chris Middleton, absolutely a legit all star. Not the 10th best player in the league, as ESPN thinks, because ESPN is on some of that like crazy shit. But very good player. Okay, they got a lot of good role players, even without Malcolm Brogdon. Their whole team is set up very well. It's a bunch of people who play defense and shoot. Okay, Eric Bledsoe's an all NBA defender. Brook Lopez is a great post defender. Chris Middleton's a great defender. Okay, and they got a billion shooters on that team. Really, really good team. Which is why Giannis only needs to play 30 minutes. And while Giannis' stats were amazing, and they would have been better if he played more, I feel like it says something that he only needed to play 30 minutes, and they were still blowing teams out this year. They still had the best record because they just didn't need him that much. Giannis took a good team into an amazing team. Even if they choked to the Miami Heat freaking whooped them, okay? Jimmy Butler, I miss you. If you're listening to this, I miss you. Anyway, though, the Bucks were amazing, okay? And because of that, Giannis did not need to play that much. He wasn't as valuable to them as LeBron was to the Lakers because when LeBron was off the floor, they just weren't that good. They were like an average team with just Anthony Davis. Because Anthony Davis, as great as he is not a very good first option. Okay, we saw it on the Pelicans for years. The only year that they were really great with him as the main option, they had half a year to DeMarcus Cousins, and was right when Drew Holiday was doing great. Like they actually, I'm probably gonna make a video on the Pelicans eventually and how they really are underrated with Anthony Davis. Like they were a decent team, okay, and that's part of why I think Anthony Davis is overrated because he never led them to the playoffs more than twice. And, I don't care that he ran to the Warriors and got swept both years. I just care that he only made it twice, and he had pretty solid teams with him. All right. But getting a little off track here. Um, the Lakers really needed LeBron James, okay? If you switched LeBron and Giannis on those teams, I don't think it'd be much different. I'm sorry, I should say, I mean, that's kind of a bad argument. All right, I take it back. That's a bad argument because the Bucks are built around Giannis. The Lakers are not built around him as well, so of course they would do worse. But the point I'm making is the Lakers really needed LeBron to be that great. The Bucks didn't need Giannis as much as the Lakers needed LeBron. Okay? Because even if Anthony Davis was the second best player, the Bucks then had the third best of the two teams with Middleton, the fourth best with, I don't know, Bledsoe, the fifth best with Lopez. They had a better bench, they had better shooting, they had definitely a better coach. So because of this is why I think LeBron deserved the MVP. Okay, underrated defense, and I blame the media for that because I really think the media made a lot of dumb arguments for LeBron this year. Like, they kept focusing on narrative instead of the actual fact that LeBron was playing amazing. Like, just no one cares about the narrative, okay? I don't care that he's 35. That's not a reason he deserves to be MVP. I care that he played good defense and he played amazing on offense and he led his team with a worse team, okay? NBA media is garbage. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say on this. So, yeah, that's my point. Point is, LeBron should have been the MVP. Thank you for listening to this, especially if you listened all the way through. I'm very sorry for you that you had to sit here and listen to me and you don't have something better to do with your life, but I really do appreciate it. If you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. I'm going to try to do more NBA videos. I will hopefully try to be less awkward in the next one I make because I do get kind of weird speaking into a microphone like this and there's nobody here to talk to. This is a very awkward situation starting YouTube, but I shall try to be better next time. Yeah, have a good day, everyone.